Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the stream on a very cloudy, very overcast Saturday afternoon. I guess it's 12:01, so I guess it's technically afternoon. Thank you, everybody who decided to tune in for what, as I've said, is probably going to be the last stream before the game comes out to the public next Saturday at around noon. Yes, that's pretty exciting. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Let's write down today's goal, the Final Pass. Now, calling it the Final Pass is probably a little not fully accurate. It's going to be the first of probably a couple of Final Passes. So what we're going to do is we're going to play through every level. We're going to try to get an unreasonable... we're going to try to get a Voltaic Plus rank on the unreasonable difficulty, so you die in one hit. And that'll be a good way to... especially because there's a lot of levels I haven't played in a while, and I don't have a photographic memory of. So going back and playing them can kind of give me a slightly fresh experience, as if I'm a new player, and I can test to see if there's spots where it feels like you get hits that are undeserved, like places you take damage that doesn't feel quite right. And we're going to go through, going to see how everything feels, double check for typos, any bugs we come across, maybe move some enemies, or delete some enemies, add some new ones in where it feels like maybe something's lacking. And yeah, then after today's stream, once that's done, I'm going to build the game, export it, get it uploaded to Steam, and then send out the early access codes to patrons and playtesters for the final round of testing and feedback before it comes out on Saturday. So, exciting day, exciting times. In one manner of speech, the game will be entirely done by the end of the day today. So, very exciting. I'm definitely not anxious about it in the slightest. I'm doing just fine. Anyways, we got Oro, we got Eli's, Wacky Tunes, Aussie, and Eraser Paste. Hope you guys are doing good. So usually I turn the stream, the game's audio off, but we're not going to be doing that today. We're going to actually be getting the music in. Whoa. Turn the... No, it's still a little quiet. Yeah, because I want to be able to actually hear the sound effects and music today, because that'll be something worth noting. If, if there's spots where things feel a little janky, this will just turn up to full. Yeah. And then, let me try to get a good balance for you guys. Around there, maybe? Yeah, it stops playing the music and stuff when I click out, so it's a little annoying. But let me know if that's too loud or too quiet, and I can do some adjustments for you guys. Okay. So, let's do this in new editor window, because that's a little bit more convenient. That might be a little loud. I think it might be louder there. Yeah, it's definitely louder there. Okay. That should be good. That should be fine. Okay, so we're gonna start by deleting our saves, so we've got a good fresh save file to work off of. I'll skip the intro. If you want to see the intro, you gotta get the game for yourself. You should probably playtest the built game and not in editor. You know what? That's a great point. That's a good idea. I like that idea. So let's go ahead and quickly dim the screen. That's not the thing I meant to... hold on. Wait. Where? There it is. Okay, there we go. Don't need you guys seeing all of my files when I get this guy built. Well, there it was anyways. Let's make a new build. Call this 419. Select folder. Okay, and now that is packaging. So now we got about a minute or two to kill while that's waiting. So while we're waiting for the build to package, let's go ahead and put on... Let's put on the new World 4 song in the background. This one's pretty different from the rest of the tracks, and I think that's a really fun element for it. It sticks out quite a bit. Yeah. I suppose I can bring the screen back. All that we're seeing is a little packaging thing here. I guess one thing I could show you guys that I think is a really fun little addition, is something I added to the hub area. So, I'm like, turn the sound back off. So one of the things that I've added here is, for a while, I was trying to figure out what to do with this little space back here. I didn't really quite know what to put in it. So I've decided that this would be a good place to put the reward for collecting all of the Gork tokens. So if you collect all of them, then this door will open. And, you know what, it could be a secret, but I'll show this off to anybody who's on stream. It's a little bonus sneak peek, little preview. So if we just step inside the door here. Oh, shoot, wait, I've got to... Oh, wait. I might have to rebuild. Let's see, because we got this enabled. Oh, no, we're good. Because I've got a development hotkey that lets you instantly clear any stage, which could kind of be good for cheating. But no, we've got all the things on we want. Oh, I think it's done building, actually. Let's go to builds. And we go to 419. Okay, nice, it's done building. Okay, well, since that's done building, we can go ahead and quickly remove this guy. And show you guys the thing that I'm talking about. Actually, we'll turn the game music back on for a second, because this is relevant to what I'm talking about here. There we go. Then let's see if the audio is fine enough there. Yeah, it should be okay. So, this is the History Museum. So if you collect all 20 tokens, you can access this place. So you get access to some sketches and stuff. You can just peruse some of these at your own leisure. You got a bunch of unused assets, like some early textures that I was testing with, and an old version of the shooting animation for the classic, an old hand indicator before I had all the new sprites in, a glare guy who's going to be used for lighting. These guys were part of like floating spinny props that I ended up scrapping because I didn't really like how they looked. They kind of just added clutter in a way that I didn't think worked super well with the 2D. Spiderweb texture that went unused, I just didn't really like how it looked. Brain, which is going to be used for brain pickups, that also didn't really get used. And we got a bunch of early development screenshots from the videos. We've got the style revamp from the new logos to the old logos. We got all of the old music is in. So if you like some specific versions of old tracks, we got all these guys in. And then we've also got all of these. So these are the... right here, we got the very first edition of the first level in the game, which it was not playable previously. So I think this is the first time that it's been accessible outside of hacking the game. We got the tutorials from the first demo. We got the old tutorials that were in the most recent demo that have been cut. We got the old sandbox. We've got Up and Up and 3 buildings. So if for some reason you're a psychopath that really loves 3 buildings, which is probably the worst level I've made for this project. But if you really want to go play it, it's right here. And then we've got some other scrapped stages. So each world has an arena level, which has been cut, because I found that just pure platforming didn't really work all that well, because you can kind of just do all this stuff. And you miss the element of fighting enemies, which I think is pretty critical. But if you want to play this early scrapped stage, it's right there. And then we've also got the cut version of World 3-2. That was eventually replaced by a far more successful version of the same concept. So that's something I'm really happy with. This has been a lot of fun. Okay, now with that out of the way, we are going to go ahead and turn off the display capture one more time. So we'll go to desktop, builds, 419, Windows, and let's launch up Void Collector. There it is. Right here. There we are. Let's go ahead and delete the save. Oh, it's going to do this thing again, isn't it? Maybe just when I click off, so it should be fine. Yeah, it blinks out a little bit when I click on and off. But it should settle. When game developers do stuff like this, yeah, I love that sort of stuff when I see it in games, so I want to be able to do it too. What file size? Is 586 megabytes as of right now, which is fairly reasonable, I'd say. Okay, let's go ahead and start. We will skip the intro again. Spoilers. Going to quickly default the settings, because some things that I have set as default don't really seem to want to apply as default, so let's reset it. Set the VSync to 1:1. There we go, so we got a nice smooth experience. Make sure the audio balancing is okay. Looks fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and start playing through everything. We've got our mastery missions here, which... Oh, these are a little scrunched up, so that's one thing to take note of. The buttons are a little squished. Mastery mission buttons are squished. So we can just extend this vertical box out a little bit, and that'll fix that problem. But everything else looks correct. Yeah, I want to clean these guys up a little bit, make it a little more interesting, but yeah, that turns on assist mode just fine. And this is working as intended. Good deal. We got memorabilia. I think it will slightly turn down the sound effects. I'll keep it at 75 and set this to 50. Yeah, I do think the default sound effect audio will be lowered slightly. Now, one problem is that there should be a piece of memorabilia right here, but it's not, which is weird. I might have accidentally removed that in the build. Let's quickly check right here, see if I maybe just removed it somehow. Oh yeah, because yeah. So the idea is that when you pick up the memorabilia, it's replaced with like a little photo on a stand. But I must have accidentally gotten rid of the original memorabilia. Let's get a BP memorabilia down, set it at ID 0, and call it memorabilia 001. No, 000. There we go. So now on a fresh save, it'll be floating here like this, which we do not have in this package build, but we can fix that. Play. Okay, so let's start out with our tutorial stages, which have gotten a bit of a style revamp, which I think should be a lot more effective at actually teaching the game's mechanics. And we've got these fun little brain things scrolling past. Just also double checking everything for typos. Yeah, defeat every enemy to activate the exit portal. It's like, oh, I'm missing a cell. Let me continue. Press Control to completely stop and fall quickly, so we do that. Press X to activate X-ray mode, look for missing enemies. See them right through the wall there. I've also made some changes behind the scenes to get the memory usage down a pretty good amount. So it should be running pretty good, hopefully. Beat the stages quickly to get better ranks. Beat the stage quickly, beat the stage really quickly. Voltaic would never drop combo. For example, beat the stage under 29 seconds to get a Voltaic. Yeah. I think that works pretty good. Alright, now let's replay it to get a Voltaic rank. Now, I originally had this stage be kind of difficult to get the Voltaic on, and it's not exactly a cakewalk still, or a cakewalk in its current state, but I thought that maybe making the tutorial stage really difficult to get a Voltaic Plus on might be a little discouraging to new players. But to get a Voltaic Plus, you got to do this fun little shortcut up here, which I think is also a good way to teach players about the value of shortcuts. But yeah, pretty free, pretty easy Voltaic. Hey guys, just woke up 10 minutes ago. Welcome to the stream 2 Multiplied. Hey Christosaur, hope you're doing well. How much will the game cost? It'd be $10. Also, welcome to the stream, Dabs. Okay, stage 1. Feeling pretty good about that one. Didn't notice any typos. So this is a revamp to the weapon stage, which I've decided to make a little bit more sandboxy. So yeah, we got this. All weapons use juice. Juice slowly refills on its own or by dealing damage. Run out and deal with a long recharge. So you can do all the testing you want here, juice yourself out all you want, and then get a refill. So what we've added now is little bits for each weapon that tells you not only the combination of fingers you need, which lines up to the crosshair, so it should be a bit easier to start to intuit how that should work. It gives a brief description, as well as if it has any unique attributes, and then it'll give you damage, speed, range, and cost. So it gives you some more concrete values you can use if you want to start really digging into the mechanics. And it also lets you test it out on these guys, which are blank ones that have just a ton of health, and then there's ones that are specific enemies that have their exact health values. So this can help you sort of learn what the different health thresholds of the game are. So double barrel. It doesn't look like we've got any typos there. Although I'm never sure if I spelled barrel correctly. Yeah, so this is one that I think works out pretty well because it lets you test out the critical hit effect, which I think will make it a lot more intuitive to use. And we got the Fling Bomber. And again, it's a lot easier to test things out because you just have free infinite juice lying around at all times. But it still lets you get a feel for the cost of everything. And if you want to keep practicing on large health enemies, you can just do this. And then we got the Dragon Killer. Got a bunch of these guys hiding around here. Got the Prod. Got the Gimme. Sure, hold on, let me double check I spelled that correct. I did. Because one of the cards for the Dragon Killer punch had the wrong description, so I had fixed that just earlier today. Let's see, the Detonator. Bird. And then this is a bit that I think is cool. Well, not this part. This part's nice, though. Yeah, press Q to save your current hand pose, press E to load it. Really essential function for people to know. I've liked using the Fling Bomb as my save, because it's such a weird combo. And then, yeah, we got R, which is also a very important function. And then I've got this section, which is just synergy. So it sort of tries to get your brain thinking about different ways you could use combos in conjunction. So we've got like this, so you could do boom, boom, and it sort of teaches the player that that is something you can do. So it's showing that you switch from one to the other, and it works pretty cohesively. And then the other synergy that we focus on in this tutorial is the 1-2. And this originally used to be a little bit harder to get, but I've reduced the cooldown on the Fling Bomb by quite a bit, which should make it a lot more fun to use. It does make it pretty powerful, but the big trade-off is just having to line up a projectile. So it still is kind of outclassed at longer ranges by the Bill Pair's consistent damage, I would say, but yeah. Don't forget the unreasonable difficulty. Good point. Also, you might have heard the mwop there. Gunther and Steve cut up next to each other eating good today. Must say the new tutorial is looking slick. Well, thank you very much. I'm really happy with the new visual direction that these tutorials have. I think it looks a lot better. So I don't really need unreasonable difficulty on right now, just because, you know, it's the tutorials. There's not really much threat here, except for the third stage, actually, so might as well do that now. Alright. Oh, actually, you know what we need to get the Voltaic Plus on the arsenal. Let's, yeah, probably use what we're going to keep it save as. Oh. Yeah, I think all of these are pretty easy, pretty free for the most part. Because we want to encourage the player and, you know, let them have some fun and feel good about themselves before things start to get particularly challenging. All right, then we got cells. This is when we actually have threat of dying, so this is a very helpful one. Just telling people that that's something you can do. So something that I included is these little cutouts here, which all have the correct health values. Actually, I think Bouncer has 14 health, actually. Bouncer cutouts should have 14 health. Because it used to be 15. For the majority of the game's life, it was 15. But I changed it to 14, so that way this 1-2 combo would work. But point being, you can test out different health thresholds on each of the enemies right around them, so it should help make things feel a little bit more cohesive. But yeah, other than that, this level hasn't really received a lot of change, other than the visual tweaks, because I think it works fairly well in letting you intuitively figure out what the enemies do. Like, I had my dad play this, and he's not exactly, you know, the most comfortable gamer. But he ended up doing pretty well with it. Like, I think it taught him how the enemies work pretty effectively. So, yeah, don't feel like that one needs to change all too much. Whoops. Thought I had a weapon equipped that I did not have equipped. It's probably faster. Let's save that as our quick pose. Yeah, like that combo feels way smoother to pull off now, which I think is good. It gives it a really solid niche in the arsenal. Fuck you, son of a bitch! Oh, you son of a bitch! You made me click off the game. That guy, I might move that cuboid a little bit. He is a son of a bitch to try to nail down. Okay. Might have bonked my head a little bit there, but don't worry about that. Wait, what am I using the bird? I can do this. Yoink. Easy. Easy peasy. Why is everyone addicted to Picross in the Discord? I'm scared. They're addicted to Picross, because Picross is sick. I didn't give you a reasonable clear on these. Whatever. There's no danger in those. Okay. So these... I might not spend a ton of time on the World 1 stages, because these I've already playtested fairly thoroughly yesterday, but I think it doesn't hurt to give it one last sweep. Might not be a ton of commentary from me today. Gonna have to be a little locked in. Oh, right in range. Yeah, I have this level pretty much down to a science. Rip roof skip? Which one's a roof skip? Is that when you, like in the old tutorial, where you can wrap your way around? But yeah, pretty easy, first try. I've played that level quite a lot. Some of the other levels are gonna, you know, some of the other stages I think need, aren't quite as comfortable to the point where I can get them easy first try on V+. Use the thumbnail, thanks. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Welcome, by the way, Mr. Jonas. Yeah, so today what we're doing is essentially just... what we're doing today is just doing a game-wide playtest, trying to get a Voltaic Plus on Unreasonable difficulty for every stage, just so we can get a good sense of where things are at. So if anything needs rebalancing, anything needs to be tweaked. Ooh, there we go. Oh, you son of a bitch. That was not exactly optimal, but this stage has got a pretty decent timer on it. Shit. Oh, the thing... Okay, I haven't had that happen to me in a long time, where the death screen happens and then another death screen happens. It's kind of funny. I don't know if I'm that miffed about it. With my cancel there. Fuck. Really is a speedrun game. A lot of little resets. Fuck. Ooh, I whiffed my bomb. That was bad. Get him. Oh, shoot. It's hard to get one little tick of the prod to get you back in juice without immediately burning yourself back out again. And I think I can say this in the presence of the world's #1 big windmill fan, Oro. But you're kind of right about this level being maybe one of the most fun ones. Because I was playtesting this yesterday, and going for the V+ and shaving off stuff, like I haven't played through this level like with fresh eyes basically ever. Because usually, you know, I'd just made it, but I've basically not really adjusted this level much or played through it thoroughly, really, in quite a while. And oh, what hit me? Oh, I don't know what hit me there. I think I might have hit a cube. Might have to figure out what that was, because I don't really want players getting hit without knowing why. That's no cool. Oops. Shit. Okay, that time I just beefed my shot. I'm definitely noticing I'm doing worse when I'm talking. But yeah, it kind of lost my train of thought there. Point being that I was playing this stage and routing it yesterday, after having not had to do that in a while, and kind of refreshing myself on the stage layouts and stuff. And, man, it's very fun. I'm really excited to get this game out there because I think that it is a really fun game. You know, I might be a little biased, but that's like the first step, you know? Is if I'm playing my own game and having fun, that's how I can be confident that other people are gonna like it too, you know? Ooh, that was clean. Okay, now I just need to not mess up for the rest of the stage. I believe the voltaic time is 1 minute 20? Minute 20 or minute 30? I cannot exactly recall. Okay, lock in, lock in. Oh, I dropped my combo. I wasn't paying attention. Woo! Almost get it by the shrapnel there. Shit. Live. Exposed. Seth Newland batted his own game. Parentheses real. Man, I don't want to be, you know, glazing my own game, but oh boy, is this game fun to play. When you're in that zone, when you're like getting all the right button inputs, which I definitely didn't do there because I started talking again like a fool, like an idiot, like a moron. But when you're in that flow state and you're perfectly getting every weapon you need, you're switching from one weapon to another using all these little shortcuts here and there. Oh man, it is so fun. I'm so happy with this game, man. I cannot wait to release it. It's so I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Okay, now this part is a little tricky. There we go. That Gunther is just a little scary. Okay, we got it. Oh wait, we're not gonna be fast enough, I don't think. I don't think that's fast enough. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Maybe it's 140. Unfortunately, gotta go clean, but good luck playtesting. Godspeed, Oro. Also really like the new Windmillionaire theme. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. When did Big Windmill get so blue? Because Barry is blue. Skip right after Steve. Oh, okay. It's the first full game speedrun? Kinda, yeah. Also, how are the new tutorial levels? Could you show us them? So I just played those. You could look briefly back, skim through them if you'd like, because I did just play them. I think this is a chill speedrunning stream, basically. I think it's one of the first streams where we get to hear the in-game audio. It's true. Like how at the end of the new Windmillionaire theme it slows down. Yeah, each song has a little bit more dynamism to it. Because originally the cuts that my composer sent me, that Landon, my goat Landon, sent me, the cuts that he sent were a little bit short. Well, not a little bit shorter, quite a lot shorter. Most of them were around 1 to 2 minutes, when the extended version of the songs were around 4 to 5 minutes. And his thought was that a lot of it was kind of just him freestyling and changing up the tone quite a bit, and he thought it would be a little too extreme to work in the game. But I have insisted that I think having these long changing versions of the song will end up working out better. Because, especially when the song doesn't loop when you die, it's an example of like Big Windmill there, where it took me about 5-6 minutes to get a Voltaic Plus. So we ended up hearing an entire full loop of the song in one playthrough. So the end result of that is that by having that extra music playing, then it gives you a constantly evolving musical experience, you know? Which I think is really cool. It means that it's much harder for you to get burnt out of just hearing the same song over and over. If the song is really long and keeps changing and transforming, makes it more exciting. Yeah, that was definitely not a Voltaic. Ooh, that was narrow. Ah, shit. Okay. I have also found that on Unreasonable, Gunther's a real bastard. He's a real bastard. These little stray bullets can just take you out from across the screen. It's madness. Madness, I tell you. Oh, fuck, Cuboid is... if you let Cuboid get set up on this map, it's a nightmare. Yeah, just reset. And this is basically what the arena stages are intended to be. They are supposed to be these quick restarting little challenges. That's the whole point of them. It's supposed to be harder than any average combat encounter in the game. But, you know, they're short. So you don't gotta replay a big chunk of level if you die. Oh shit. I don't think that's fast enough either. Shit! Who made this game? This game stinks. Yeah, it's probably faster there. Whoop. Whew. That was extremely narrow. Oh, I got hit by the shrapnel. Ah! Yeah, this game on Unreasonable is, I'm gonna say it, unreasonable, which is good. I like a steep challenge. That's my jam. I like it when games feel like they always have more to keep offering you in terms of difficulty, you know? Like, I like being able to keep coming back to a game over and over and be presented with something that's just a little bit more difficult than it was the last time. One of the nice things about, like, you know, roguelikes that have, like, ascension difficulties, where it's like, oh, you beat it once, and then you unlock a new difficult modifier, and then, oh, you unlock a new more difficult modifier, and then, oh, you unlock a more newer, super-duper difficult modifier, and then, you know, etc., etc. No, I'm fumbling with my own controls. No! Even an expert, even a pro of his field like me can get lost in the sauce. Shit. Problem is I'm also trying to talk in stream, too. When this game takes about 100% of my brain power. It's very involved. Alright, there we go. There we go. That shouldn't have been that hard. The Weezer-colored windmill blades. When you're going so fast, there's so many particles that the bitrate just evaporates. I didn't think about that. It's like watching somebody play a FNAF game or something when there's just static everywhere and the bitrate is just 4. Alright, now this stage, this is one of the stages that I have probably eased up on the Voltaic difficulty requirement quite a lot, because this stage was kind of evil, how fast you had to beat it, to the point where even I was struggling quite a bit to consistently get that ranking. Shit. Alright, well, we'll deal with him later. Boink, 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 boink. Nice. Combo still kept. Oh, hey, there you are. Fling bomb, flick it. Uh-oh. With my shot. Okay. I didn't really need to do that, did I? Didn't need near enough firepower to kill that guy. But I sure did kill him. Woo! Alright, first try, I think? Yes! And we got an achievement. Let's go. Yeah, I think the time for this used to be like 124, 125. I actually got it written down here. Yeah, it's been changed to 130, so you've got about 5-6 extra seconds. So it's still most likely going to be fairly difficult, but it's a lot more reasonable than it used to be. Okay, World 1, feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, we beat all of our target times, and we got the first 2 achievements for getting Gold Plus on all levels, and Unreasonable on all levels in that world. So one concern I just had, so I increased the cooldown of this thing quite a bit, so that way you could do combos more effectively. But my concern now is that you might be able to just do this, and then that kind of takes care of everything. Well, okay, so that's still faster for those guys, but you can kind of just... It's very expensive. Yeah, but it still probably is a little too spammable. Maybe I'll make it so that way the Fling Bomb has, like, a longer cooldown if... Yeah, I'm thinking, like, how to balance that. So maybe I could just have it be that it has a long cooldown unless you switch to another weapon, in which case it sort of changes the cooldown or something. Maybe something like that. I don't know. We could also just see. We'll see. We got a week of playtesting, so we can figure out if it's a little too extreme, a little too good. Okay, but that is World 1 done. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Then let's go to good ol' TT. I imagine I should probably get this one fairly easily. Nope, shit. That's right, I've got a strat there, and I kind of forgot my own... Okay, well that would be a crazy snipe, by the way, if I hit that. Okay, no way in hell am I hitting that with any amount of consistency. You got the most health, so we'll snipe you. Oh, what? Oh, it was a Gunther shot that hit me. Yeah, because I was standing in the same spot for 8 years. Holy shit, that was a crazy shot. He's so goated. Ooh, okay. He's dead. So the 1-2. That's not like save. That's the thing I wanted to save. Oh shit! I looked away. I had it there. I wanted to be flashy. I wanted to be fancy with it. I think World 2 should probably not be that difficult, I imagine. The worlds I think will probably give you the most trouble is probably going to be 4 and 5, just because they are, you know, the most difficult worlds by, you know, by their nature of being the last ones. Especially when we're playing with only 1 pinpoint of health. And buck. Nope. Oh gosh. Ooh. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's on me. Oh, that one hit me. Damn it. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. That one was just that was just a bad attempt. gonna snipe you before I take care of these guys. You're not really much of a threat if I can... If I only have one of those projectile attackers on me, I'm not really that worried about it. Oh shit, now this is bad though. Oh, I whiffed that. That was a really bad shot to whiff. That was a really bad shot to whiff. I've played this level so many times. Why am I fumbling it? It's because I'm trying to be all fancy, going a lot faster than I really need to be. Oop. Okay, well that's on me. Do you guys say a little prayer for me so my sewing machine doesn't catastrophically jam? That's for you. If I could run of the game would be 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, you never know what speedrunners can pull off. Hopefully a lot. We'll see. Will be icon for Void Collector on your desktop. A little bouncer face. Of the sound effects in this game? Thank you. Whoops. So fun, not fun. Story. So when I released the initial trial run demo, you know, reception was mixed in certain places, to be sure. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Yeah, reception was a little mixed on some areas. I think people generally liked it, but, you know, it wasn't exactly an outrageously positive initial reception. I was just standing there. And it was a little disheartening. Because the very, very first comment that I saw about the game, right after I released it, was somebody being like, oh man, I really don't like the sound effects. And I was like, oh. I spent, like, you know, 3 months on this demo, and the very first thing I see is somebody's like, yeah, I don't like this. And I'm like, oh no. Whoops, I almost ran my head into that. Oh, I didn't catch it. That's bad. Now we still got time. The Voltaic is relatively generous on this level, and I've been going for some pretty difficult skips. Yeah, that should be it. I think it's like 48 seconds, 49 seconds. Okay. Stage 1 is down. Stage 2, up next. Are they the same as the current sound effects? Yeah, pretty much. There's some new ones, but generally the style of them and a lot of them are just identical. Like, the majority of the bass sound effects are entirely the same. I think we want to keep you as our save pose, actually. Start by inverting and switching to you. Quick load. Whoops, I jumped right into that. Also love the sound effects. Thank you. Oop. Okay, that was not the switch I was looking for exactly, but it does the job well enough, I suppose. Ooh. Oh shit, I didn't think they'd throw it at him. Yeah, maybe that combo is a little too powerful now. We'll see, we'll see. Nice. Clean, 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 clean. Idea. Add some outside 2D props to 1 millionaire, like grass tufts and bushes. Yeah, I do like that idea. I guess it wouldn't take a ton of time, but I'm kind of at the stage where it's like, I need to stop detailing and I need to just finishing stuff. You know? But yeah, this has changed now. So instead of being able to chase the guy and be immediately in danger, it lets you see him bounce away. And you launch up here. That was a pretty bad whiff. I don't think the rank is that difficult on this stage because there's quite a few skips you can do. Yeah, like you can do... One of the things you do is surfboard down there and then walk all the way around. You don't gotta do that. You can just do all this. Then you can surfboard down there if you want, or you can just go around. Although it's a little difficult. There we go. Yeah, so we also have this, which is a warning that lets you know when you're about to get hit by a train, which I think is a really nice warning. You know, if I was about to... Okay, I just stood still. I would like to know if I was getting hit by a train. That'd be pretty convenient. Whoop, whoop. You. Oh, yeah. Don't want the same way. I looked at one of the old videos of Tropical Train Yard, and the water and skybox are like the exact same color. It was very trippy. Yeah, a lot of things have gotten some pretty substantial color changes, to be sure. Whoops. With my bomb there entirely. Whoops. Keep getting stuck on these ding-dang chairs. Ooh, that was clean as heck. That was not clean as heck. That was quite unclean, dare I say. I gotta figure out figure out a more consistent approach to that or tweak that section. Feels a little inconsistent to do damageless. Whoops. Oop, oop, I'm strafing, I'm juking. Oh, I don't know my special meter up. It did things a little differently, so normally I would have it here, but I don't. Okay, land. No. Okay, we're good. Oh, ooh, I feel like the Bat Death should be swapped with the Ball one because Ball is bigger and have a deeper voice. Nah, I like that he's like round. He's a round, higher pitched fella, whereas Bat's the more serious of the two brothers. Where did that... Oh, I hit it. It got hit from down here somehow. Hold on, let's let the juice come back. How the heck did that happen? I mean, that's clearly... Wait. No, this doesn't act... How did I get activated? What hit it? I'll have to figure out what the cause of that, because that's quite a bit of jank, isn't it? Okay, I'm glad that I got my meter here. I got too close. Yeah, I got too close. Too close. Yeah, the stage is pretty tricky. Pretty tricky one. Whoops. Hey, Litterbox019. Bastard Brothers lore. I'm really eating good today. Maybe the bouncer activated it? Yeah, maybe. But it was down here. it activated down here. Which is the weird thing. I don't know if I can replicate that. Because it's... No, I guess it was just... Yeah, it just was doing the normal thing it does when it gets activated. It goes... Womp. It goes... Womp. Yeah, I really don't know what caused that. That was weird. Okay, okay. I think we're on it this time. We're on it. Oh, the train! I wasn't paying attention to the train. No. Instead of actually say the personality of 2 of the enemies. It's true. You know what? Maybe they do have a little personality. Maybe they're not just unsentient blobs. Nah, they pretty much are. You can kind of tell the personalities of them by looking at them. You know, they are what they are. Stupid, generally. Whoop. And it. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna take the surfboard. I think the surfboard is you know, the surfboard's actually way faster. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. I could be a lot more. I could be a lot more relaxed there, and we would have been fine. Okay, that is. Oh no, actually, well, we've got the arena stage left, and you know what? I forgot about it. I forgot about the death plane bouncing tutorial. This one's pretty easy. But yeah, this whole stage is just built to teach you that you can do this to get a lot of speed. So. Nice little function. Good to teach players, but it's not that important. More of a cool trick rather than anything else. Is Brain Buster the only one with an actual brain? Yeah. I don't know if it works though. He's got one. Does it? I don't know if it does anything. It's kind of more like cosmetic. You dead? Yeah, you dead. That was easy. Goated. How well would you say the hitboxes correspond to the sprites? Pretty accurately. Generally the hitboxes are like, if you see here, they're well, okay, they're actually notably larger than the actual enemies are. So here's a rule that I like to follow. To make games feel a little bit better, is enemies are easier to hit than it seems like they should be, and projectiles, like enemy projectiles, the hitbox is slightly smaller than it looks like it should be. That one it just hit me dead on. But like the Gunther projectile, you can get pretty close to it without actually hitting it, and the hitbox itself is not particularly huge. That just kind of makes things feel a little bit better and more consistent. Alright, World 2 is down. World 3. Is there a Surfshop VPN? Yes. Steep for Minecraft is clear copyright infringement and should be sued. I agree. Let's see. Would Collector 2 have a battle pass? Back what I miss? We did World 2. What is the conductor's gender? I've been confused since they've been added. It's a girl. That's a she. But I suppose they are fairly androgynous. Oh wait, hold on, I should reset. So we have an actual time we can get here. Yeah, we'll go guns blazing with this guy. Shit. Actually, you know what? I think we'll use something else, but we want to have that saved. Oh, actually, no. Yesterday I came up with a new cool strat for this section. So we do... No. Okay, we jump into it. No, not right there. Not like that. Hold on. Shit. Wait. I don't want too much speed. Shit. Wait. Hold on. This is a good strat. It's a good strat, I promise. Fuck. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. This time for sure. Fuck. Hold on. Wait. One more time. Shit. Wait. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Wait, no, I didn't stand long enough. Okay, hold on. Wait. One more time. There we go. So what you do is, since Steve can only place his projectiles when you're standing on the ground, you get out of the room where he can't see you, or you enter it from above, and then use an uppercut to delay your landing, and then get him to place it right on the ball bastard right when you land. It's a little tricky. Oh, I don't know how I didn't get hit there. I guess because you have to be inside of his bubble for slightly longer to actually have that activate. Oh yeah, if you didn't see it last time, Bloody, you shot. That feels like you shot faster than you should have. Okay, that was easier. Okay, you don't need the speed boost. You can just jump, uppercut, land right there. Easy peasy. Okay, well I got hit by a bomb in the back of the head. Oh, what's the screen cut now? It's weird. Gender reveal party. World 3 levels are some of the best in my opinion. I'm really proud of this world. I think that when I get around to making... I just killed him, I didn't even need to kill him. When I get around to making, a sequel, I gotta stop just standing still. He's gonna hit me in the back of the head with a ball. With a bomb. What do you think is gonna happen there, Seth? Okay, well... Shoot, throw, thank you. Whoop. Okay, but yeah, I want to do more things like this, like cool little interactive elements, or reactive elements, like the arrows coming in, more crazy inventive stuff like this. Shit, yeah, I just ran right into that. So the music to like 0.9 times speed in ghost mode. Yeah, I did want to do something like that. It's just the way that I've got it set up with how music is played isn't super conducive to that. But I'm not against the idea of trying to make something like that work. Oh, I got shot. Make things sound slightly off. Yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it. Not make it super like abruptly, obviously wrong, but just like subtle enough to be kind of extra creepy. Okay, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, Jimmy, you bitch. Soul's not that hard. I don't know. I've died so many times. Yeah, this part is pretty free. Oh, if you don't whiff. If you do not whiff. Whoop. Are you on 1 HP mode? Yeah, I am. So normally you have 3 health, and you get 1 health back for every enemy you kill, which gives the game a bit of extra forgiveness. But since I am the developer, and I'm good at the game, in theory, I'm trying to get the best possible rankings while on the hard difficulty where you die instantly, and that is for balancing purposes. So it gives me a lot of it basically gives me a good idea about where there's annoying hits or where it feels like it might be undeserved if you take damage. That's kind of the core of it. That's why we're doing it. This level is one of the ones that has gotten the most amount of tweaking, and that guy, I've considered changing him a little bit, because I feel like I always get pelted by 1 bullet there. Just because the angle you have to approach him from. Fuck. Gunther's on Unreasonable are bastards. This little guy is a bastard and a half. take him out in 10. But yeah, with not only the ghosts, but the voltaic ghosts and the regular ghosts, some of the stages in this world were kind of absurd on unreasonable, like to a borderline unreasonable extent. Shit. Okay, I was just not looking. You do gotta be on your toes. Although I do think I'll probably code in a slightly longer delay for Gunther from when he first sees you to when he can shoot you. Just to avoid situations like this where you kind of get shot in the back of the head. Okay. Right, he moves fast. But yeah, just to give you very slightly more time. Because usually he's in fairly wide open areas, so it's not really a big issue. But when he is able to oops. That was a bad time to hit X-Ray. Let's say that World 3 is extra difficult. Yeah, it feels a bit out of... it feels a bit out of tune difficult. And that's why I think it's a combination of high enemy counts, cramped levels, and pretty difficult gimmicks. So it's one that I'm trying to rein in a little bit. And again, that's one of the benefits of doing this playtesting balance check. Okay, what hit me there? Was that shrapnel? I think it was shrapnel. Yeah, things like the shrapnel are a lot harder to avoid when you have such little room to work with. And I think, you know, doing things like making, giving Gunther that little extra bit of firing delay, probably making Bobbert be stunned a little bit longer. Oh yeah, Brainbuster. I think a lot of little tweaks like that will hopefully alleviate the extra difficulty and make it feel a bit more of a natural difficulty curve. Because again, I don't mind it being difficult, but it feels... If it feels like the difficulty curve is out of alignment, then that is a problem. Hit him! Shit. Alright, well, shoot yourself. Blow yourself up, idiot. Okay, so he's gonna be Voltaic mode. And he blew up the bouncer. Sweet. Yeah, so this room that I'm coming up into now is probably, before I made some changes, was the single hardest room in the entire game. So there used to be a Sever here. I've removed her because she is way too much to deal with on top of everything else. But you'd have to deal with 2 of these Voltaic guys dropping out of the ceiling with 3 other regular enemies and a Sever chasing you. It was too much. It was too much. If I will take Gunther is in a super suit and everything just to be kind of walking in his face. Are the 2 finger guns still the only normal weapon variants? What do you mean? Why do you want to kill Brainbuster so bad, Mr. Paste? I don't get it. Yeah, these guys are eating up here. They're having some dinner. Whoops. At this stage, I have not made any tweaks to yet. Everything to this and beyond has pretty much had no proper playtesting yet, so I imagine that this level is going to need some adjustment. Yeah, no, I tweaked that room to be substantially less obnoxious. Because that one was kind of annoying previously. Yeah, alright. Nice work there, me. Oh, I did not pick up a glue. Fuck you, buddy. Ooh. Scary. Ooh, my combo, my combo. I dropped my combo. Yeah, this area has also gotten some pretty substantive nerfs, because this room was kind of obnoxious beforehand. Whee! I win, but not a Voltaic Plus. Also, why is the ghost bonus level pink? Yeah, that's a change I keep forgetting to add. It's just because of the way the post-process looks. Fix post-process in level 3-3. Hey, yeah, let's actually take another note. Fix post-process in 3-3. Add slight firing delay to start of Gunther attack. And I think instantly being attacked works for Steve Strike, since you have the inherent built-in delay with his bombs. Whereas with Gunther, when you get immediately shot, it can, you know, especially on Unreasonable, it can lead to an instant demise, which is not the most fun. So I think giving the player a little bit extra leeway there will be much appreciated. Because especially with a speedrun game, really don't need to go overboard in terms of difficulty, because players can essentially invent an infinite upwards difficulty curve by getting faster and faster and faster. So having the base game be somewhat easy is not really a bad thing, although I think this game is, you know, far from easy, I would say. If the prior playtests are anything to go off of. Whoop. Hey, stop that, you. Hit him! Okay, woo. I almost got killed there. Probably don't need to use my bird there. It's kind of a waste. Ooh, I whiffed one. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. We're good. Yay. Feel like I'm being chased by actual ghosts with how scary this all is. Ooh. So scary. Too scary. I'm out of here. Ooh, that was a really bad thing to whiff. Oh shit, that's bad. Okay, we're good, we're juiced in. No, I'm juiced out again. Fuck, because I didn't hit him. Hit him. Woo. This is really bad. This is the worst sorcerer fight I've ever had. Okay, is that fast enough? No, that was off by just a little bit. I think it's 120. I think 120 is the goal time. Oh, it is. It's 120. It's 80 seconds. I missed it by 0.14 because I messed up the sorcerer fight. Yeah, whatever. We'll call it good enough. Whatever. We'll fix the Gunther problem later. Also, the textures are a bit darker. Yeah, that was intentional. It's kind of like how everything's a little bit darker in the in 2-2 to make it feel more stormy. Why is the Void Collector universe like outside of the Big Frog? It's kind of normal. Let's see. I feel like you use him as your main damage source. Most everything else is only movement. Yeah, so the fling the fling into sniper is really good. The uppercut's really good. I kind of end up falling back on those two because they're really reliable. But a lot of the other weapons, you kind of do. They do have good damage. It's just I tend to not use them as much for that. But they all have their versatility and their different places in the toolset. They all have their varieties. They have the uses. So it kind of leans towards being different play styles. Okay. Arena time. Alright. Good start. Woo. Bobbert alert. Shit. Oh, my special. How did the Void Collector eat hell? So it isn't actually like hell. It's a volcano, which isn't super strongly indicated, but it's supposed to be like this volcanic region that got eaten. And then I just sort of went with the hell theming. But I kind of think it's funnier just to leave people wondering, like, how did it eat hell? So I'm not gonna clarify. I'm not gonna, I'm not pointing that out to nobody. Whew, all these crunchies make this one a little, a little tricky. Okay, let's get the Voltaic on this one. Ooh, I pushed him right into it. Ooh, I forgot about Sever. She's right there, but I just forgot about her. Shoot him! Ooh, you're just getting pelted from all angles in this level. I might slightly reduce the total amount of crunchies here because I think it's a little excessive. I might also pull back Bobbert a bit so he's not right at the very front. Although maybe having him maybe having him right there is good because it lets you know he's a threat right away. I keep whiffing my shots there. Ooh, I shot it. Nice. There we go. Oh, I ran right into the snowball. Yeah, we're definitely going to be reducing the amount of crunchies in this stage. I think it's a little... Part of the idea is that it'd be kind of overwhelming, but this is, I would argue, excessive. Okay. Yes. Considering that it's starting to get on my nerves, how many times I'm just dying to a random snowball, I think that is an excellent sign. Oh, I got stuck on that. I think that is an excellent sign to reduce the enemy quantity. Oh, you son of a bitch. You SOB. Hey, what's the other enemy? What did I miss? Because the crunchies don't count. That was weird. There we go. Okay, remove these guys. To avoid Collector and eat lava, interesting. You can. Is the smooth jazz just the actual soundtrack? Yeah, this is just the music. That's peak, I second that. Glad you guys like it. I'll pass your kind words on to the composer. Oh, yeah. This is a new thing, is that it'll say the Void Core is now open, because this section becomes available as soon as you have enough Void power. Which is 12. So to do a full game speedrun, you only need to beat 12 stages, and that includes arenas. Does not include tutorial stages. Tutorial stages do not count. But if you beat any 12 stages, arenas included, then you can access the final level. Alright, let's do World 4. This is going to be probably the first time you guys hear this song, too. Played a little bit of it earlier, but... Yeah, this is probably the most different song in the soundtrack. Which I think is kind of fun. It just feels different and weird in a way that I think is cool. Yeah, like right there with the weapon stuff. It would have been absolutely faster to use the Fling Bomb combo instead of trying to do this combo, or just doing one of these into something else. But when you panic, it's kind of easy to fall back on. Old, reliable. Yeah, this world is also pretty difficult, and I think is going to need to get some minor tweaks. I don't know if it needs a ton, but we'll see. It is naturally just kind of difficult, thanks to the speed up gimmick being kind of hard to work around. Ooh, that was a bad fumble. Bad fumble. Oh, that lost me so much time and my combo. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. That was real bad. Ooh! I saw his little exclamation mark went up, which means he was about to attack. That was almost really scary. Or actually, not almost really scary. It was really scary. Oh, I stood right in front of him. I don't know. I didn't move. I froze up like a deer in headlights. Whoops. That was a bad one. Oh, nice. Got a little collateral bomb explosion there. You can just kill off a Gunther or Steve, which a Voltaic Ghost was going for, but don't kill the Voltaic Ghost himself. They just stand there and do nothing. Yeah, he just stands there. Also, I think you should lower the opacity of the window. It is a little overwhelmingly gray. We can add that to the. Let's see how that looks. Lower, or make window more visible. And something else I forgot to do. Add sound effect for breaking a window. Because I've forgotten to do that. Will Void Collector 2's enemies have 3D models instead of 2D sprites? Probably. I would say the odds of that are pretty solid. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Whenever you reset, that's the sound that a double makes whenever he lands. So there's one that's floating in the air when it spawns, and it makes that really loud noise every time it spawns in, which is pretty annoying. So I'll have to fix that. Shit. Yeah, I just ignored that. I ignored the Brain Buster entirely. So that's something we're gonna have to fix. And also just lower the volume of that. That's too loud. I hit the floor. I don't know why I'm so reliant on the bird. I can just use the detonator. The detonator does, like, will kill him anyways. Yeah, and it's easier. Ooh, shoot him! Fuck! Get him! Okay. I think I'm getting a little amped now. I'm missing all my shots. I'm doing stupid decisions. I'm doing dumb tactics. I'm whiffing and biffing. Yeah, look at how much faster that is to just hit him with that combo. Way more efficient. Ooh, that was narrow. I should not have cut that so close. I just ran right into that. Verifying his own levels before uploading them? Very true. Just gotta make sure everything is functioning and feels good. And I'm glad I did this, because there are certainly some things that I would like to fix. I just stood there. I just stood still, with a Gunther staring right at my head. Don't know what I thought was going to happen. Okay, yeah, I feel like increasingly these mistakes are not ones that I'm pinning on the level design, but I am just flubbing. Now this one, and maybe the bouncer here is kind of unnecessary. And we kind of have a bouncer right here anyways. So maybe we don't need one there. Maybe that's a little unnecessary. That's right, 2 bombs doesn't kill you. It's gotta be the bomb combo. Because the bomb only does 6, but then with a crit, you do 4. Or with a crit you do 8, without a crit you do 4. Yeah, you know what? Mark my words, Bouncer Man. You're getting deleted. Ooh. Get up here, you stupid. Get up here. I'm just standing still. I'm just standing still. Love how the World 4 soundtrack mixes weird synth and church choir. Yeah, it's odd. It's a cool combo. Is time spent in the hub world added up in the final full game time at the end? So the full game time at the end is just a culmination of all your best times together. It's not a true, like, full game timer, because that's an option that I do want to add, but I want it to be very robust, so that's probably going to be a post-launch update if I end up adding that. So right now it's just a culmination of all your best times together. It's a sum of best. But I would like there to be a more robust system at some point. Will it be an encyclopedia of all weapons and enemies at the hub? That might be an unlock for beating the stages or something. For, like, beating the game. That might be nice. But right now I don't plan on it, but I could do that. That could be something I do during the next week and get that added in for the launch release. What enemy has the most health, not including bosses? It is Bouncer and Bat. They have the same amount of health, which is 14. Which critically means that they cannot be killed with a single pistol shot into shotgun shot. Like Mr. Jimmy there is. Alright. I'm getting a little too amped. Let's take a brief breather here. And let's go collect the hub world tokens as a little bit of relaxation after all this high intensity, high octane gaming. It's been about 90 minutes of streaming. That's been all intensely focused video game playing. And you know, or add it. It's going to be a lot easier to get some of these tokens if we are not playing. Hey, you know what? Nope, don't tell nobody. I'll just lower the difficulty to make grabbing some of these tokens a little easier. We can also just do this to fling ourselves up to a lot of them. Gork token all collection speedrun. This is a really fun little activity. I went back and played the sandbox in the very first demo, and I definitely think this is a much better way to do that, to just have it sort of be in the hub area itself, be a bit of a sandbox, and give you something fun to do while exploring it and testing out your movement and figuring out little shortcuts and cheats to get around. It's a more intuitive and more naturalistic way, I think, to teach this sort of thing. I think I'm still missing some here. Yeah, because I got 1, 2, 3. Ah, forgot about that one right there. Which we can just uppercut up here. And then there's one hidden right here behind the shirt rack. There we are. Got one here with these guys hanging out by the campfire, and then we're gonna have another token up through this little bit of civilization. Then we've got the funny one right down here. Too scary. Oh, I bonked my head. Could have done a really nice skip all the way up to the top there if I had nailed that correctly. Oops. Got caught on the ledge there. Then we've got the last one for this world right up here. There we are. Then we're going to collect the ones for this world. There we go. I know what we can do is we can hit these checkpoints, like here, and then we'll reset ourselves. Now we've hit that checkpoint. And they're up here. And we can pretty easily get the token that's hidden away up here. There is a token right over here as well. That should be 19. That is 19. And then we can go collect our 20th token right here. Mission complete. I need to fix that. The text is misaligned. Gork token text misaligns when double digits. Seems like that only happens when built, but that's a good thing to be aware of. Okay. Probably gonna do an 80% run before even 100%ing the game, like a speed run. Good luck with that. 80% would be crazy once there's a skip that gets you to the Void Core stages. I don't know how you would do that, but you know, good luck. I accept the challenge. Why is Gunther kind of plump in this game, but promo stuff he's thinner? This is a fat Pikachu thing. I just draw him kind of differently each time. There's not really a model sheet. This game would go hard in VR. I think it would make you throw up and die if you try to play this in VR. Detonator circle change angle based on surface? No. That'd be nice. That'd be a cool little feature to figure that out. It wouldn't be that difficult, but no. Anyways, yeah, you found 20 out of 20 tokens. The Orc King is astounded. Somewhere the King's secret door opens. And what that means is that now the museum is open. So now you got 8 tokens, you can go here, you can listen to all the old versions of the songs, see the sketches, yada yada, showed this off earlier, and then you got all the cut levels from different versions of the game that you can check out at your own leisure. Let's let the old version of the Hub World theme rock while we go back and climb our way. Actually, we can just reset. Oh shit. Alright, whatever. We got full meter now. Then hit. Alright, that was good. Good little relaxation bit. Now we can get back to doing this. Back with that loud crunch sound. Yeah, I don't love the bouncer there. I think the bouncer is kind of needless. Oh, I'm still on easy mode. Alright, well, you know, we'll play through the level once on easy. Then we'll come back with the correct difficulty option. Just to see how much of a difference it does make. Because I'll tell you, I can pretty easily any percent the entire game. I mean, I could beat pretty much every level without much difficulty if I'm just playing on the even on a reasonable. I could beat the game pretty consistently. But the difficulty comes in when you're trying to get the Voltaic pluses and you've got unreasonable at the same time. That's when it gets truly dastardly. I don't know how I hit that. I barely hit that. I scraped it. I insist to you, I scraped it. Ouch. Wait. Shit, who'd I miss? Wait, what'd I miss? What? Doesn't show up on the X-ray. Oh, this is... Well, I guess it's a good thing I encountered this. This is definitely a bug here. Well, shoot, that sucks. Good thing I caught this. Who did we miss? Who the heck did we miss? And why are they not showing up in the X-ray? More importantly. Nobody here. Oh, I just entirely didn't notice yet. Why didn't you show up in the X-ray though? It's weird. If we reset. I guess he does, it's just so tiny. Yeah, the X-ray system still needs some changes. I've tried really hard to get it working the way I want it to, but it's so finicky with... The key problem is that Unreal, the way that they handle these materials that you can see through walls is really annoying. It would be a lot easier if I could just have the 2D textures be viewable through walls, but the problem with it is that for some reason, if you have materials that are like things that can be seen through walls with this sort of post-processing effect, it only works on 3D meshes. It doesn't work on 2D sprites. So it works when you can see them fully, but if they're behind a wall, then that material and the effect of that material where you can see it through the wall ceases working. So it's really annoying. Shout out to games that include old content as a bonus. Yeah. Sorry if Glyroglass doesn't have a custom bullet sprite. He does, don't worry. But yeah, we're definitely gonna wanna... Yeah, that's annoying. It's not the worst, because you just play through the level once to get it, and you're probably not gonna make that mistake again. But still, not a great problem to have. I think that'll... I'll add that to my list of goals for the next week is to refine that portion out. To work on the X-ray a little bit, see if there's maybe something I can do. To maybe, like, instead of trying to match their mesh exactly, we have, like... They have, like, a big, like, pulsating aura or something around them. That could be good. Like, sort of a ring effect going off of them, so you can more easily tell where the enemies are. I don't really know how to do that. So, yeah, I guess that'll be the goal. Another one of the big goals is Steam achievement integration, because that is something I still have not sorted out as of yet. Which I don't think will be too bad. Worst case scenario, you know, I do that post-launch. Which I don't think would be the worst case. Oh, that's really funny. Ball hit himself with his own bombs. Because there is a cuboid cube directly in front of him, so he just blew up instantly on top of him. Whoa! I slipped. The biggest mistake Void Collector made was eating a tutorial. To make the X-ray work, just make 3D versions. Definitely wouldn't be very time-consuming for something not that important. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll just make fully 3D models, or make. Yeah, I'll turn them into flat 2D models and instead of 2D sprites. That'll be really easy, I'm sure. Okay, you know what? This level, you're getting on my nerves, Mr. Sinister Summoners. 4-2 needs special attention. Is kinda annoying on unreasonable. Because I think this is one of my favorite levels on the standard difficulties, but having to do no damage, it's getting pretty annoying. Pretty annoying indeed. I think I could probably even get rid of the cuboid at the beginning. You know, let's see specifically where we think this could use some tweaks. One, fix the double. Probably get rid of you, actually, because we can just use this space to teach Samantha. We don't really need to have an extra thing on top of it. The bouncer here is just kind of annoying. I think it would work well enough with just these three here. Probably get rid of the cuboid or the bat and ball here, because this, again, feels kind of unnecessary as a way to teach you the importance of taking her down first. Taking her down fast. This section is probably fine. Maybe remove one of them, but it's generally okay, I think. This section is... How did I get hit? It's going so fast. That section is probably okay. Don't think we really need any tweaks there. Let's see. Maybe get rid of the Gunther. I don't know if the Gunther here is particularly additive. This section, I think, works as is. And then I'd say probably the entirety of the interior is pretty well done. It's not... There's no points that I think are too obnoxious or feels like it's oversaturated in terms of enemies. It's like right there, I think you get to see the attack before, and you get plenty of time to play on offense. With the doubles, I think you have enough room to maneuver around the slopes. Maybe that Steve doesn't really add a whole lot. Oh shit. Maybe that Steve isn't super additive, but yeah, I think the rest of it's okay. But that's a good note to self. Rework that stage a little bit. Give it some tweaks. Fine-tune you, Mr. 4-2. And this is why we're doing this playtest. It's to find little issues like that need some refining. Can you change the difficulty from the pause menu? You cannot. Based on the way that the difficulty is coded, it would kind of mess things up if you could just change it freely from the pause screen. That's one of those things that I would like to refine at a later time, or in a sequel when I've got a better idea of how to code things to not be annoying. The fact I forgot what the gimmick of the world was what the level was for a second, so I just got taken by surprise when I dashed so quickly. Fuck, that shockwave is awful tricky to jump over, isn't it? What if I just hit you with one of these? Oh shit. There's not really a lot of room to maneuver there, is it? You kind of just have to tank that. So that's going to be altered for sure. Yeah, you don't really get a lot of room to do anything. Yeah, we'll probably widen this, or pull the double back or something. Or give a way to jump over it, like maybe a pretty short distance trampoline would be good. Let's just sort of jump over it. Because, yeah, as is, that's kind of annoying to deal with. Yeah, this level I think is also going to need some tweaking, to be sure. Yeah, I think some of the enemy placement is just a little bit obnoxious. Look! Wait, why isn't he shooting? Why isn't he shooting? Why did he not shoot? Wait, what? Is it just in a built version he doesn't shoot? Because I know this was a problem with... I thought I fixed this, but this was a problem I noticed in a playtest where these guys just wouldn't shoot. He's making sounds, he's just not shooting. Okay, so that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, don't know why that's happening. Glourglass won't shoot. I do think once you get past that initial double at the beginning, I think the rest of this feels pretty fun. Fuck you, Gunther. Yeah, I think the rest of it works pretty solidly. It's just, I think the double right here is kind of fucking everything up because he's a little too good of a spot. And then if the Glourglasses are working, yeah, I think that'll give us a better idea as to whether or not this is functioning. Although maybe if the Glourglass if we can get him working, maybe that'd be a little bit obnoxious to have both of these guys at the same time. So maybe get rid of one of them. Yeah. So I gotta change that Sheila's location a little bit so her shield's not poking out. I don't know why the Glourglass isn't shooting when in a packaged game, but he does. He attacks just fine when in an unpackaged build. It's so weird. It's so strange. Okay. I'm gonna add you to the list as well. 4-3 needs some fairly sizable changes. So I think I'm gonna make some of the platforms bigger too, because it feels pretty narrow to do when you're in speed up mode. So I think some things in that second section are gonna need some tweaks. Okay. So both of these are probably the most needing of it. Don't like the bright red sky in this level. Could you make it darker? I could try tweaking it, sure. I think it's kind of cool, but you know we can adjust it a little bit. I think it's a fun twist, but maybe it does feel a little too different from some of the other levels. We could see. Let's see. Maybe the hourglass would shoot if you put a dog in. Less saturated. We can make it darker. Add up to notes, sure. Try making the sky a little darker. See if that looks nice. Let's see. Did the hourglass just spawn? Probably not. It was maybe just a bug where their animation freaked out a little bit. Maybe as packaged and unpackaged. So packaged or unpackaged is just referring to playing it in the editor. So in the Unreal Editor itself directly, that's what I mean when I say unpackaged. But packaged is essentially the version that I'm exporting for you guys to play. So for some reason, between the Unreal Editor and packaging a release version, for some reason something breaks and then that guy stops shooting. That says at the arena stage, though. See if this one needs any tweaking. Oh, you need to be pulled forwards for sure, mister. Oh, that was kind of janky. What's the Samantha there? I forgot about you. Yeah, okay. I think this one works pretty solidly, I would say. If anything, make this a little bigger so that way it's easier to work with. Have this trampoline give a slightly smaller boost so you don't have all that like floating time dead air. There we go. Yeah, but I think the arena stage mostly works pretty good. Just needs some small tweaking. Hey, System Fan, how is it hanging? Okay, yeah, we've been going for nearly 2 hours. It's been good. The gears texture not moving is trippy, but kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. The way that the textures are kind of world positioned is fun. It's like chowdery, you know. Can we hear the mwop sound in action? You sure can. What's gonna be the easiest example? Probably Arsenal. Yeah, you can see the new Arsenal stage while we're at it. Yeah, it's much more sandboxy. You get little information on the speed, the cost, as well as the range, damage. Gives you more concrete numbers to work with, and a lot of little extra tidbits like these having the right amount of health. So it's more helpful as an actual tutorial and as a sandbox. It does both a little more effectively. Also, the World 4 soundtrack makes me think of FNAF World. I don't get why. You know, I can kind of get it. Mop. It does kind of overlap a little bit with the explosion sound, so I might pull the mwop back a little bit, or make it do the mwop animation a little bit later, so that way you can actually hear the sound effect in full effect. All right, time for World 5. Shit. Shoot the egg. Okay. Oh shit! I clicked off. Whoops! That was a bad time to click away. I don't even know how I clicked off. Cause I didn't pause or anything. How did I click off? It should be my cursor should be locked to the screen. Whoops. Oh, you still need sound effects, don't you? I keep forgetting about that. Hold on. Add it to the list. Void Spawn still needs sound effects. Also, probably make him bounce around a little bit slower. Because he is a bit of a nuisance at this current point in time. Oop. Didn't mean to land on that. Kinda ate my momentum there. I might get rid of the bouncer there. Kinda don't really like what he adds to it. I realized with bouncers you kinda need to be careful, because they can pretty easily make a section very annoying. He can be good for making sure you're staying on your toes, but if you go too far with bouncer placements, then he kinda does. He just ends up being pretty obnoxious and can sort of take away the flow of a movement of a combat section. Just stay. Yeah, just stay. Like the text in this level? Yeah, I think it looks nicer. Does World 5 theme have all the themes of all the worlds mashed into one? It does. Yeah, the music's a little quieter so you can hear me talking over it. Oh, reset, hold on. There we go. I will be uploading the rest of the music to YouTube, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it, because, you know, not super surprising, but the viewership on the videos has not been great, because, you know, people aren't subscribing for music. It makes enough sense to me why people wouldn't be clicking on them a ton. But the music's really good, and I think it deserves to do better than it has been doing. So I'm trying to think of ways I could get that to you know, be a little more well received, you know. There's really not a better way to recharge juice. I mean, you can recharge juice by hitting somebody with a prod, because the prod is free and it instantly gets you at least 1 point of juice back, which you can then use to do something else. Or if you have a special meter charge, then you can use that to use one of your special moves, and therefore get all your juice back in an instant, or get most of your juice back in an instant. So the main ways are to just be consistent, hit your shots. That's kind of the main thing. The other thing is you got your special as a backup, and then you got prod, which is dangerous and risky because it's close range, and not super strong, but it is an option. I just decided to let myself die there because I'm doing a speed run, and if you fuck up that many times in a row in a run, it's kind of not worth. It's kind of not worth even trying to continue. You are not textured properly, mister. And you need some props. You're missing your props. What are you doing? What are you doing here, buddy, without your props? Oh, and the doors are still misaligned. Fuck, I keep forgetting about fixing the doors. Ah, yeah. I do think these World 5 stages need extra attention. I guess it's not too surprising that the stages that have been added, the absolute latest, are the ones that are going to need the most amount of tweaking. I'll definitely have the early access build out today, no matter what. But you know, there might be a new build coming in like a day or two, with some additional tweaks and bug fixes. Because I think there's a little bit more that needs changing immediately than I had anticipated. I might also increase the size of the hitbox of the eggs. So they're a little finicky to actually shoot. This is the problem with making a video game, man. With any piece of art, really, it's like the difficult thing is to know when to call it done, when to call it good enough. So we'll have to fix that. Can you prod only no hit of a level? You could if you really wanted to. If you were psychopathic. Oh, I just went back in the stream. Whoops. Go back to live. These stinking eggs, man. Okay, you know what? You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna quit, and we're going back to the editor. Pink ghost mode in this level. There we go. Okay, so clearly a lot of things are functional. The only thing we've noticed that doesn't work fully in the packaged version is the Glower Glass, although I'll go in and check everything else to make sure that works too in the packaged version, in the release build. But now, I think it's time we get to making some tweaks and some changes and stuff. First thing we're going to do, easy fix, easy change. We're going to grab Void Spawn 2, and we are going to take your collision sphere here, your capsule component, and we're going to make it bigger. We're just going to make it double the size, and we're going to see if that messes anything up. Probably won't. But if it does, oops, guess we'll shrink it back down. Yeah, let's just see how this is. Oh, okay, maybe 2x is a little big. Maybe 1.5x. Yeah, I think that's all right. Plop. Yeah, that feels pretty good. That should be let's reset a little bit just so we can get a proper test drive. Yeah, I think that works pretty good. Okay, there we go. I do think also the audio is a little bit louder over here, so let me tone it down just a skosh, so not blowing out your eardrums. I have to pay to get the ghost tokens, or the Gork tokens. Reading different chat messages and it's fusing together in my brain into one big soup. Whoops. Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'll have to have it play nothing right away so it doesn't do that, because it plays the music right when you click start, which is fun, but if there's previous music playing, it'll carry over. So I'll have to fix that as well. So many things to fix, so many little things that add up. You know, you gotta be on top of all these little tiny things, sometimes big things, and get it all working together like a big old soup, like a Super Mario. Okay, I've got a list here of changes we're going to make. So let's go to tutorial 3 enemy. So one mistake I made, one crucial mistake, was that these guys right here, they say 15. When they don't have 15, he's got 14 health. So boom. That's fixed. Okay, one thing crossed off the list at a time. Let's go. Okay, let's go to the mastery missions. Oh, hold on. Let's real quick. You get prodded with that control selection if you haven't beaten a single stage. So let's really quickly just blast through and beat one of the levels really quickly. Hit him with a laser. Okay, there. Now we won't get pestered every time we enter the hub area. So that's back. So that works now. Yippee, yahoo! So these don't look squished here, but they look squished when built, which is really strange. We could probably fix that just by going to the mastery menu. Get rid of the achievement panel. Bring in the main panel. There we are. What we can do is just drag this outwards a bit so it's not as condensed, which also should help it work at different resolutions as well to make sure there's still a little space. And you know what, we'll even give it a little bit extra time. A little extra space rather. Then we're going to have to bring this guy over. Here we are. Let's just add a couple of spaces here and there, just to make sure it lines up. There we go. That looks like it lines up nice and well. Cool. Okay. All right. Let's go to go to 3-3, because like I said, I think Worlds 1 and 2 are pretty much entirely good. World 3 has gotten some pretty substantial changes, so I think it's feeling a lot better now. For Call, I think we got all the Voltaic pluses there, so I think that world, like I said, that world's feeling pretty good to do. But something we do need to do here, let's go to post-process and material. We do have this shader. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, I'll have to do some experimentation with that one. We'll get that one off later. Okay, let's go to Timely Demise 1, and let's try that suggestion from Mr. Jonas. Let's get the window material, and let's try just adjusting it, or M window. There we go. Let's give it an opacity of 0.4, I believe. Yeah, I believe the lower it is, the more opacity it has. Let's maybe make the window like a slight reddish tint. Or, you know what, it's a window. Let's give it a slight bluish tint. So it doesn't feel quite as lifeless. Gives it doesn't feel quite as dark and dim and gray. Yeah, I kind of like the blue. The blue's fun. And it feels like you can see through that a lot more clearly. Yeah. Good suggestion, Mr. Jonas. Okay, while we're at it, let's get the BP window break. And if an event breaks, then we will play sound 2D. We could probably just use the bat and bomb explosion sound effect. So that at probably 0.7, so it's not too loud. And it still feels kind of loud. Say 0.6. We can get a new sound effect for this one if we need to, like a custom sound effect, but yeah, that feels good. Okay, look at this. We are blitzing through this list. You guys can't see it, but I'm blitzing. I'm blitzing. If the game gets popular enough to make a plushie of one of the enemies, I would like to do that. That'd be cool. What's your favorite enemy design? Favorite enemy design-wise, and what's your favorite level fighting-wise or enemy-wise? Yeah, okay. So my favorite enemy design, visually and I think gameplay-wise, is probably Steve Strike. I like the idea of jumping over the shrapnel. I love his visual design. He's one of my favorites, just all around. I like designing dudes with stupid shades. And yeah, again, I think the way that you can use his bombs to blow up enemies for you is really cool. The way that the shrapnel, you jump over it as a way of damaging other enemies or avoiding taking damage yourself is very fun. So Steve Strike is probably my favorite. And for enemy layouts, stage-wise, I really like 4-2, although I think 4-2 I'll like a lot more after I get rid of some of those enemies today. So I think that'll be nice. Goofy shit with the Void Collector anti-piracy be. I'll tell you this, I don't care nearly enough about piracy to put in anti-piracy measures. Some people are going to want to pirate the game because they don't have money to play it, and that's just how it goes, but it's an indie game. People are generally fairly respectful of that sort of thing, and if somebody's going to pirate it, they probably wouldn't want to have bought it anyways. So it doesn't really make a difference. And when you put in obtrusive anti-piracy, all it really does is make the experience worse for everybody else who actually paid for your game. People who wanted to pay for your game, you just gave them a worse experience in exchange for making it slightly harder for people who were going to pirate it anyways to pirate it. It's just not. Anti-piracy is just not worth it. And like anti-cheat software, anti-cheat's good for multiplayer games and stuff, obviously. But things like Denuvo, like for avoiding getting your game cracked, it just sucks. I mean, everybody knows this by now, but it's annoying. Okay, let's go to the token, or no, it's called Doodad. Yeah, it's called Doodad Get. All we need to do is just slide this over. Boom. Now it's fixed. It's probably fixed. Whatever, I'll recollect those and make sure that it's working. And you know what? If I ship the early access build and the Gork token text is slightly misaligned, whatever, not the end of the world, but it should be good now. Okay, so I don't know why Glauer Glass isn't shooting when packaged. That's a problem I'm gonna have to look into. Let's see, what do we need to do? I need to generate some new sound effects. Make some new sound effects. Generate makes it sound like I'm gonna generate them using AI or something, which I'm not doing. I don't use AI. I need to make some new sound effects for Void Spawn. like a little sound for when he bounces. Okay. So let's go to... Yeah, so let's stay here. Make some changes here. A lot of people want to pirate the game to get to pay Gunther 10 doubloons. I mean, it's just an inevitability with any game, you know? Somebody's gonna pirate it at some point. Even if it's $10, somebody's not gonna wanna shell out their hard-earned dollary dues. And that's, you know, I would prefer that they paid for the game, obviously. But you know, it's not the biggest deal ever. I think this whole idea of designing the game around, like designing the game's enemy placements and stuff around Unreasonable is gonna work out really nicely. Because it'll just, I think, alleviate feelings of bullshit happening so much. Yeah, so this stage I think is good. I don't think this stage really needs any changes. Yeah, I think it's fine. Maybe just nudge you forward slightly a little bit, so that way your shockwaves are a little, yeah, your shockwaves are a little more clear cut. What did I do for the sky on this level? I cannot remember. I kind of like this. Maybe this would work for the final stage too, if we just have the same like sky color, but it's like more of a bloodish red. It's just like a deep crimson-y maroon, more of a maroon. What is the process of packaging? So you do this. You go to Windows and you click Package. You got these. So there's development settings, or there's project setting, which is different. Depending on whatever your thing is. So you got debug game, which includes things like using the... I can show you. You can do things like press F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, so you can view the lighting. So this tells you like the intensity of lighting or like different complexity of what's happening visually. So as you can see, it's all green, which means it's very, very simple. Then you've got... I don't know why this is bad or whatever. Oh, it's one of the sticks poking out. That's funny. Anyways, you got these different rendering modes you can try, and these are not included in the shipping build for obvious reasons. But you got the wireframe mode. You've got the disable post-processing mode, so you get to see what everything looks like without the contrast boosts and the brightness boosts of the post-processing, as well as the lack of outline shader. Which lack of outline shader is not too bad, but I definitely prefer the clarity you get when it's turned on. I know some people aren't the biggest fans of the outline shader, and that's fine, but I like it. What is cook content? So that is, you basically package it without packaging it. So when you have a new project for the first time, or you make some major changes to certain things, it will need to re-cook that content. And cooking it is basically the process of caching the changes. In a simpler sense, it kind of caches those things. It stores portions of it to make the packaging process faster. And packaging for me, usually takes about 2 minutes, but for a first-time package for a project, it'll take around 10 to 15, maybe longer, maybe less. Sometimes you'll have things that won't package properly because there's issues in the files that you need to fix as well. So cooking is just saving things to package sooner. Gunther Vision? Yeah, it's Gunther Vision. So yeah, that's the distinctions when you're packaging. And then development also includes, like you see when I join a level, there's the blue text in the top left. That is print strings, and that is used for development mode and debug mode, where you'll see these things be printed out for little functions that I have to, essentially debugging. It can let you know if something is working or if it's not working. Okay, now for the stages that really are going to need some attention in terms of enemy placement and, I was going to say level design, but if anything needs level design change, it's probably just the thickness of these platforms, but I'll keep them the same for now and see if we need to make any changes. First of all, we get rid of the cuboid. He is really not adding anything here. Same goes for the bouncer. I don't really like what he's doing there. I think I need to get rid of bat and ball because we kind of end up using them a lot later anyways. And I think making this room a little bit simpler is going to make it a lot more fun. Yeah, because you got to worry about the Sheila and constantly spawning Dibblies anyway, so I think, especially for a first-time player, and you're just now seeing her for the second time, it's probably going to be a little overwhelming. In this section, I think it's probably okay. as is. I think we could maybe get rid of the I think we get rid of the cuboid. I think we just simplify this section a little bit. I think having both of them is a little bit unnecessary. It's not really doing anything particularly interesting. Like this isn't exactly a combo that synergizes super strongly. Now I think this part works pretty good. It's a little tricky, but it's a good kind of tricky. You gotta go fast. Now you, I don't know about you. The bouncer here I do think is good on paper, but in execution he's not super fun. Oh, I need to change the textures on this. You still look a little weird. The bouncer kind of just runs off the ledge all the time. Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I remember what he did in initial playtest, and he was kind of more annoying than he was fun. So I think we'll move him. I think this section works pretty good, though. Before I forget, though, let's go ahead and set the brush to that with an angle. Set you to Hellgrass, which is called that because it was supposed to be grass, but it kind of doesn't really look like grass. It's more just rock, and that's kind of just what we're going with now. Set you to, yeah, it should be Clock Accent. Then Hellgrass Dark. Then grab these sides, make it Clock Accent. And then grab the top of this side, make it Hellgrass. There we go. Quick little texture work. And then I think you work pretty good. I think this part is fun. This is good. I think we're going to replace the Steve here with a Gunther, because the Steve is kind of not doing anything for me there. I think he in theory works, but you're just kind of moving around all the time, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the problem is you're landing right away. Is it because you're on a slope? But you're definitely floating. Oh, there we go, it was you. So now if we restart, you don't hear that annoying little crunch sound right away. Shouldn't the arrows on the slowdown portal texture face downwards? Hold on, 1 second. Hey, not core. Randomize 1. They don't, you're right. How about that? I never thought about that once. Oops. So if I rotate you, you're always facing up, right? No. Okay, so what I can do is I can just grab these guys. Take your rotation of 0, and then normal. We can change. No, we want the material. What's the material that I use called? M-slow. So go material underscore slow, and then set the panner to +1. There we go. Now it goes upside down. Good catch. I've genuinely never thought about that. Time normal 2. Set your rotation, which is one of the best features on Unreal. You can just click on it and instantly warp yourself over to it. Set you to 0. There we go. Now it's facing the way we want it to be. Then we go to Demise 2. Normal. Only got 1 time normal. And then set this to 180. So it's going down. Then go to Demise 3. Oh right, because we don't use the speed up, speed down boxes in this one. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and scale this whole section up a little bit. It's gonna be jutting into the wall, but that's fine because it'll be a lot more comfortable to try to land in. It does look a little janky. Maybe we'll fix that later. Okay. And then this part I think is cool, but the launch you get is a little excessive. So we're going to replace the trampoline here with a super trampoline. And only because I've programmed the super trampoline in a way where I can individually code the exact launch distance you get with it. So it's good for correcting finicky spots like this. So what we can do is just dial it in. So 2,500 is still way too much. Let's take out 1,000 off of that speed. Whoops. Whoa. Hey, that works pretty good too if you jump off of it at the right time. But if you walk into it, then it's a little low. So let's crank that back up to about, not 200, 2,000. Super 2,000. So we just walk into it. Gives us a nice height, maybe a little bit much still. So let's try 1,750. Right, a bit of sweet ground, middle ground. Yeah, it gives you enough height where you can use it for a lot of different things. But if you want to float back down to the ground, it's not so much time that you're kind of wasting it. Now the texture in the cog is going upwards. What are you talking about? I mean, the texture in the cogs just kind of floats. Oh, this one. Yeah, you're right. I scaled it up, but I forgot to rotate it. There we go. Now it's all good. Now we're good. Okay. Do we want to make any tweaks to this part of the stage? I think maybe the Slapmo is a little redundant, because this area is not really super... Like, you don't really need him to keep you to move when you've already got this guy and this guy, the Cuboid and the Double there. I think we're probably a little overkill. Idea to make the super trampoline's color different from a normal trampoline. So they were kind of supposed to be like more exaggerated, but the difference between a regular trampoline and a super trampoline has never actually ended up being that substantial. So keeping them the same as the original trampoline kind of makes it unnoticeable that they're even different from a regular trampoline. In retrospect, I would just make them all one entity called the trampoline that I could customize more effectively. But I've sort of done things in a bit of a weird way, so they're functionally the same thing, but one of them does something slightly different. It's stupid. It's one of those little byproducts of working on a project for, a year, where you have little weird inconsistencies. Man, after having played on Unreasonable, I'm playing so recklessly, so fearlessly. Did I see a very squished bee? You might have. Why can you hear Doble's landing sound from across the entire level? So every sound effect plays from across the entire stage. Well, yeah, it's right there. So the reason for that is just because it's better for a lot of the sound effects from a communication level to be able to hear them from anywhere. Like, being able to hear an enemy's death sound or attack sound from wherever is good, because if they can see you and attack you, it's good to know that that is happening. And with the double attack sound, it's not really a problem, because his range is small enough where he's only really going to be able to see you when he's in range. So as long as I don't have them be landing from places where you can't see and then it plays the sound effect anyways, it's not a problem and ends out working out better than if it was played limited to a specific area anyways. Some sound effects are better if they work in a limited area, but generally for the sake of communication, the only time that you would hear that sound effect is when you're close enough for you to want to hear it. So it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. Okay, so Demise 2, we did some cleanup work. So let's see how this is feeling now with our tweaks in place. Well, why'd you do that? I'll have to look into that. Okay. So we're not on unreasonable, but we'll basically just reset if we take damage to replicate the effect. Oh, nice whiff, idiot. Nice taking damage, idiot. Just standing there like a fool. No, the cube! Okay, cool, I still got it. Nice. Oh, well, that was a quick two-shot, but I guess that'll work. Sure, that'll kill him. Kind of unnecessary, but it's funny. That was a really good change suggestion by Oro to have this not consume meter to place, but instead consume meter to detonate. Or rather, you could only place it at full meter. Because that means you can do stuff like that, where you leave a trap, essentially. Yeah, the Gunther there actually makes way more of a difference. I've also been taking damage and kind of just been going anyways. I think I need to take a little break because I'm losing my mind a little bit from having to be locked in for like 2-3 hours. Assume the game has built-in speedrun timer because the portals dilate time. Yeah, it's a little odd. Slow down the trigger inside the cog doesn't go all the way down? Oh, it doesn't? I didn't even notice. Doesn't it? Oh, you're right, there's a gap. Oh, a pretty noticeable gap, actually. Oh, I was grabbing the gloob. And then doesn't poke out of the corners. No. Okay. There we go. Now we've got that covered. Okay, let's take some of the suggestions into play and maybe tone down the color of the sky a little bit. Let's make it more of this saturated but still crimson-y red. Yeah, you know what? I do actually think that works better. I think maybe having the red, the extreme red of the hub or the skybox, and that is maybe a little much. But yeah, you can see that that he does have a proper different projectile now. Well, it's a little hard to see when it's flying at Mach 10 past your head. But for some reason, he just doesn't attack in the other build. Okay, so anyways, enemy placements here. Enemy placements. I think we could probably get rid of the first one here and just have one here. Having two back-to-back is kind of excessive. The Doble, we used plenty of Dobles later in the stage. I think we can get rid of him there. Let's bring you... Yeah, let's have you be up here instead, actually. So that way you can sort of do some left and right navigation shenanigans, and we'll see if that works. I think maybe the Gunther there might be a little overkill, but let's... Yeah, we'll test it. Yeah, let's wait until it's in fast mode so we can see how that feels. Oh, hey Gunther, you son of a bitch. Oh, okay. So you probably would want to shoot one of them before you start trying to approach. Okay, you want to shoot one of them before you start trying to approach. There we go. These freaking Dibblies are getting out of hand, man. Whoops. Sent myself rocketing down to the ground. Ooh. Shit. Maybe I'll add a slight little bit of wiggle room right here, so if you back up off the slope, you can land on that instead. Yeah, I think these levels in World and World 5 are going to be the ones that are going to get the most attention, for sure. Yeah, like right here when you land, there's kind of just too much. You can't see everything that you're getting attacked by right away. So let's see. Maybe we just like dramatically simplify this room. Get rid of the Doble there, and then just have it be these two in the corner. Because the shield will kind of draw your eye to them anyways. So I think that'll probably work out better. Just have this room be simpler. And maybe we can be a little bit more complex here. Like, oh, he's a trap lady. Yeah, one benefit is you can just jump up here. And then we've got the Uncle Time mini-boss, right? Well, mini-boss, he's kind of stands there. I think what we can do here is to make this section kind of interesting. Why did I type enemies as if that's going to bring anything up? If we grab a BP Doble and slam him in right there, and then I think that can make this final section a little bit more interesting. Yeah, get enough time to react, you can jump over, and I think that'll work pretty good. All right, and we'll give that one a bit more of a thorough playtest later once I've relaxed. I've said Doble too much, now I hear it's Doughball. Also, did you adjust the doors in the spooky world? How so? In what way should they be adjusted? Or did I say they would be adjusted or something? Let's go over to core 1, because I know these doors need to be adjusted. That's something I'm coming over here to fix right away. Let's fix these ding-dang doors. You'll get your money when you fix this damn door. Looks like the rest of these are... Well, no. They're not quite aligned, are they? No, they are not. You're a little too far. So fix you, fix you. Fix you. There we go. Yeah, okay, no, all the doors somehow got a little bit misaligned. I think I might have moved the location of this one ever so slightly, and then that kind of threw everything else out of whack. If I had to guess what was causing that. Okay. So, yeah, so we gotta give this one a bit more of a thorough test. But what I will do is change this to be, say, half. Not 100, 1,000. So this, what I'm doing here is adjusting the speed of the void spawn, because they move a little too quickly, and they're kind of swirly and annoying to fight right now, if you accidentally activate them. Yeah, that feels way that feels way better. That feels way better. That's what I meant. Okay. Fixed. What would be your next project after Void Collector? So I think I've talked a little bit about some of my plans. I don't want to share anything yet. I would rather wait until I've got something a little more concrete together, rather than get hopes up or expectations up and then disappoint them because I decide to change projects or whatever. But yeah, I don't know exactly what it'll be, but I've got a couple ideas. One thing that I am doing for sure would be like a community, like design your own game or whatever I called it. I think it was like fine. If you're so smart, you design it or something is what I'll call it. But it's basically like the idea being that I will let you guys make the assets and design the game, and it'll be like maybe like a month long project or something. Maybe we just stream every day for a little bit. Maybe we'll do it in a week. Maybe we'll do it for longer. However long it feels like a good amount. But I think that would be a really fun community event. But yeah, I think removing the Jimmy there makes that section feel a lot better. I kind of think I want to get rid of you actually too. I think you're making this part feel a little more cluttered than it really needs to be, and makes you be a little overly cautious with the doorway there. Makes you play it a little too... forces you to play it a little too slowly, a little too safely. Alright, this part should be... I don't really like the green a ton. But let's make it train 3. I mean, it is the only train color we're not using. I just kind of feel like maybe the light greenish color is not the most appealing thing out there. Let's go to texture. No, not there. Oh, ignore that. Let's go to level textures, train yard, train 3C. Just give it a slight saturation boost. It still kind of doesn't look great. Maybe we make it more of a turquoisey color. That feels instantly way more appealing. That feels way more appealing instantly. Holy. Yeah, making it more of like a turquoisey is the move, I think. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. That's much nicer. Although I do think we should probably be using materials like this. So we do train 3 ceiling like that, and then we grab the walls and make the walls. All of those will be the darker color. Yeah, much better, much better. Just saw a gap in the lower brim of the Solemn section. I noticed that too, but I was like, I'll fix that later. And I probably will. Ouch. This Jimmy guy is a real son of a bitch. Okay, so if I had to guess, I think this section is probably fine as is. If anything, maybe the... Oh, the painting got misaligned. Right, because I must have shifted something, so everything got slightly thrown off. Let's pull you forwards a little bit so you actually can see me, I think. I think that's what's causing you to delay yourself. Yeah, you should be coming out right away like that. So I think what we do to make this room a little bit better is if we get rid of you, and then we have the bouncer kind of where he was. So you step in, and then boom. So now you got the bobber coming after you, but it feels a little less hyper aggressive. Hit him, Seth, please. I'm getting tired. I'm playing like bad now. But yeah, if the Voltaic Ghost's target is gone, they just float around and don't do anything. And they don't add to the enemy count either, so pretty easy to deal with in the grand scheme of things. Sometimes she just doesn't spawn Dibblies. I think they get stuck when trying to spawn. Like she tries to like spawn them inside of a wall or something. I think that's what happens there. Ouch. Yeah, these textures are also a little weird. They're slightly messed up on that. The Solemn section is level has no props, that's why it feels so empty. It does have no props, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Barber's explosion kill other cells? No, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll have to add that, but it doesn't do that. Oh, dude, this always psychs me out when I come here because I'm like, oh no, the hub area, because it's got all the parts together and it looks a lot like the hub area, from at least a rough glance. But yeah, you're right about the props being missing. I think that is something I need to do for all of the core levels, or, well, I guess 2 of the core levels, because some of the other ones don't really have the same demands in terms of props, because the boss stage is an arena that's already pretty well propped out. I do need a custom death sound for the Void Spawn, too, don't I? Yeah, there's no portraits or anything either. Oh, and this texture's off. I gotta do a lot more work on these Void Core levels than I thought. I think you can tell I was getting a little tired by the time I was making those, eh? Yeah, and the floor in here doesn't work either. It's not proper floor texture. Yeah, these levels are gonna need to... Oh, and the snow texture's here, too? Yeah, this is one of my favorite little bits, is that you have to deal with the ghosts if you go in the front door, but if you go in from the top, then you can sneak around and take your own route. Oop. Somebody forgot to texture that. Couldn't be me. Whoops. Someone's slightly clipping on the floor there. This is one that I think might also need some adjustments, because I think it feels good when you go from the top down, but going from the bottom to the top, I think, is kind of cramped feeling. Like, especially bits like this. It just feels too narrow. I think the time limit on this one was like 2 minutes. Oh, it's pretty generous. 2:20? 2 minutes and 20 seconds? That seems way too much. Like, I didn't do great there. I might have to pull the time limit on that one back. Gotta go by. Thanks for stopping in today. And you know what? I am getting quite tired. I think I should take a little break and then come back at the rest of the balancing and tweaking with a fresh head, and then I'll get that build out to patrons and playtesters and stuff as soon as I can. But I think that will do it for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's stream. Hope you had a good time. I know I did. I'm very excited to get this game out to y'all. So yeah, let's buckle down for the final stretch. The release day comes in a week. Alright. 07s, everybody. I'll see y'all on the battlefield. And now we're going to do Seth's Classic, where I start talking, and then I get cut off at some point. And I don't know if it's funny, but I keep doing it. I like doing it. So, who knows when I'll be cut off?